Yes, ladies and gentlemen, consider this the last session of us President for one day. Your Excellency, His Excellency, the President, I want to express my gratitude for your remarkable contribution to Uganda's economic development over the past 30 years. There's no doubt that statistical data presented basically has that in mind. We have witnessed socio-economic growth in terms of poverty reduction. No doubt, according to the data from Uganda Bureau of Statistics, Uganda's GDP has actually experienced consistent growth, averaging at about 5.3% annually over the past 3 decades. So the efforts to reduce poverty in Uganda have actually yielded what we call positive results. So as per Uganda poverty assessment report by the World Bank, the percentage in terms of population living below the national poverty line has witnessed what they call a notable decline, dropping from about 56.4% in 1992 to about 21.4% in the most recent data available. If we talk about infrastructure, no doubt, Your Excellency, infrastructure development, investment, for example, in infrastructure have actually played a pivotal role in driving what they call socio-economic growth and improving the living standards of all Ugandans. So according to the Ministry of Works and Transport, the construction, for example, of about 3,000 kilometers of paved roads has actually enhanced transportation networks and has also facilitated trade and stimulated what they call economic activity across the country. So I want to thank you, Your Excellency. Also, more than that, I still want to thank you for the development of energy infrastructure, including the hydroelectric power plants that has significantly increased in terms of access to electricity, positively impacting industries and also businesses and households. For example, the Bujagali hydroelectric power station has added approximately about 250 megawatts of electricity to the national grid, contributing to improved access and reliability. I also want to thank you, Your Excellency, in terms of education and healthcare. We've witnessed as a country access to quality education that has been substantially a key focus of your government, resulting into what they call notable improvements, enrollments in terms of all rates at all levels. Data from the Uganda Ministry of Education and Sports indicates that primary school enrollment, for example, has risen from 64% in 1990, for example, to about 94% in the most recent data available. So there's no doubt that efforts to enhance healthcare services have also contributed and improved in terms of outcomes. So according to the Uganda Demographic and Health Survey, there has been progress in terms of reducing infant and maternal mortality rates. For instance, for example, the infant mortality rates have decreased from 76 deaths per 1,000 live birth, that was as far as 1995, to about 43 deaths per 1,000 live birth in the most recent data available. Additionally, the prevalence of malaria has actually been reduced also from about 42% in 2009 to about 19% in the most recent data available. So this has demonstrated significant progress in terms of combating all these diseases. So, Your Excellency, even as we acknowledge these achievements, I believe that there are areas that would require further progress in terms of more concentration, based on the analysis of socio-economic strength of Uganda, supported obviously by data from official government reports and reputable statistical sources. I would like to engage by offering certain suggestions for considerations in terms of enhancing job creation and also economic diversification, and noting that despite the overall economic growth, the unemployment rate obviously still remains high, particularly amongst the youth, and therefore we need to focus on policies and initiatives that actually help promote job creation and also support entrepreneurship and can help us address some of those challenges. And therefore, by encouraging investment in some of these sectors, such as manufacturing, agriculture, and technology, we can be able to contribute to what we call economic diversification and also provide employment opportunities. It's important, Your Excellency, that improving these social services and the basic infrastructure, where there have been notable improvements in education and healthcare, further attention, Your Excellency, should actually be given to enhancing the quality and accessibility of these services, particularly in these rural areas. And therefore, Your Excellency, investments in schools, for example, in terms of infrastructure, teacher training, and healthcare facilities can also help bridge the gap and also ensure equal access for all Ugandans. And therefore, strengthening in terms of good governance and also anti-corruption measures becomes a big question for our country in that perspective. And also, we should also continue, Your Excellency, to uphold the principles of good governance in terms of transparency and accountability, which become very crucial and sustainable for our development. So these continued efforts, Your Excellency, help us combat corruption and also promote accountability in terms of public institutions, become a question of building trust, and also will attract investment and also ensure equitable distribution of all our resources. Your Excellency, something that is also important as a country that we're gifted by nature is agriculture, and therefore we can see that our country can actually become a food basket for the entire world in one way or the other. In terms of food security, sustainable data, Your Excellency, in terms of agriculture plays a significant role in Uganda's economy, but challenges such as limited access to modern farming techniques, post-harvest losses, and even climate change impact our food security. The problem is that low agriculture productivity and reliance on what they call rain-fed agriculture and limited access to markets hinder what we call rural development and our food security. The solution, Your Excellency, is to provide and promote sustainable agriculture practices, including irrigation systems, and also improved seed, and also enhance what we call access to credit and extension of services and market formation for farmers. In terms of strengthening agricultural value chains, and also invest in agro-processing to add value to our agricultural products, and even support climate-smart agriculture in terms of mitigating the impact of what they call climate change. Lessons such as those in terms of substantive success stories from other countries can be used to benchmark, and also we can cause what we call a green revolution, or even adapt and co-opt from countries like India and Brazil in terms of what they have done as far as agriculture and transformation is concerned. Your Excellency, another important aspect I want to talk about is what they call gender equality and women empowerment. No doubt that you have been at the forefront of fighting for women's rights. Statistical data in terms of gender disparities persist in Uganda, with limited access to education and in terms of economic opportunities and decision-making power for women. So the gender inequalities obviously hinder our social and economic progress, leading to what they call missed opportunities and perpetuating poverty. The solution, Your Excellency, should be in terms of enacting and enforcing laws that will help promote gender equality and also promote women's rights. Increase in terms of investment, particularly in women's education and skills development, promoting women's entrepreneurship, and also help access what we call credit and markets. When we do that, we shall enhance the women's in terms of participation, in terms of decision making, and also help them build better processes at all levels, and also implement programs that help combat what we call gender-based violence and promote gender responsive healthcare services. So we have to learn again in terms of other countries like Rwanda, for example, and Sweden, that have done a lot in as far as gender mainstreaming in terms of their approach. Your Excellency, one of the biggest challenges that we have in this country is youth unemployment and skills gap. As a person who has been able to travel a little bit, I've been able to comprehend and understand that when you ignore the youth and devoid them of skills, then you're going to have a problem. Statistical data, for example, has shown that Uganda's growing youth population has increased, but unemployment amongst them is still very high, coupled with a mismatch between their skills and labor market demands. The problem is that limited job opportunities, for example, inadequate skills training, and also a disconnect between education and industry requirements, which has contributed to many of them becoming unemployed. So the solution, Your Excellency, should be in terms of fostering or enabling an environment for what they call entrepreneurship and innovation, and also providing support for our young entrepreneurs in terms of startups, and develop and expand technical, even vocational training programs that are able to equip our youth with relevant skills in terms of employment, and also facilitate what they call public partnership to create jobs, opportunities, and also internships. This, Your Excellency, will help us promote what they call apprenticeship programs and even mentorship programs for the youth. We have to learn from success stories in terms of youth employment. Countries such as Germany, which have what they call dual vocational training systems, and even South Korea's youth entrepreneurship initiatives. Your Excellency, we also have another challenge that I think needs to be tackled seriously: the access to clean water and sanitation. Your Excellency, statistical data in terms of access to clean water and sanitation remains limited in Uganda, particularly in rural areas. The problem with this is that there is inadequate access to clean water and sanitation, and this has contributed in terms of waterborne diseases and also hygiene-related illnesses. And this obviously has led to diminished quality in terms of life. The solution, Your Excellency, will lie therefore in investing in what they call water infrastructure, including water supply systems, boreholes, and water treatment plants, and also improve sanitation in terms of facilities, and also including toilets and waste management systems, which reminds me of the book that I'm writing on how to manage waste in Uganda. Those are some of the things that we need to talk about, and also promote hygiene in terms of education and behavior change campaigns, and also prioritize the need of vulnerable communities, including women, children, and people with disabilities. Lessons learned in terms of water and sanitation, we can bear with, again, some benchmarks from Sweden and also other countries like Bangladesh, which have been able to overcome some of those challenges. Your Excellency, one of the major things that we need to pride ourselves in, or perhaps engage in on a very serious note, is what they call digital transformation and access to technology. I'm aware that you have been at the forefront of trying to encourage this, but statistical data, in terms as far as Uganda is concerned, shows that we are facing challenges in terms of digital connectivity and also access to technology, particularly in these remote areas. And the problem has led to limited access in terms of technology and also digital services, which has hindered our economic development and education, and also access to information. And the solution, Your Excellency, basically lies in expanding what they call our digital infrastructure, including broadband networks and mobile connectivity, and also to reach those so undeserved areas. By doing so, Your Excellency, we shall promote digital literacy and also skills in terms of training to bridge the digital divide. So we should encourage the adoption of e-government services and also digital platforms for service delivery. We shall also be able to foster innovation and entrepreneurship in the technology in as far as the sector is concerned. So we have to learn from other countries, Your Excellency, like Estonia in terms of e-governance, or even models like Rwanda in terms of digital inclusion initiatives. By addressing these additional challenges, we will require what we call a comprehensive approach in terms of involving a collaboration with the different stakeholders, and also mobilizing resources and learning, Your Excellency, from successful strategic implementations that have been adopted by other countries. And by tackling these issues head-on, Mr. President, we can actually make a significant stride towards improving the lives of our Ugandans, and also positioning our country on a path of sustainable development. My name is Isaac Christopher Lubogo. Your Excellency, I would like to wish you a successful tenure, and God bless you.